Hi there, this is Lily Birdsong. Welcome to Queer Stories. Today we're going to be talking about a film that's being made right now in Nigeria called Ife. This film tells the story of two women who fall in love, and it's being made in a country where being gay is illegal. I'll be linking several resources in the description. First of all, go ahead and watch the trailer for the movie. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm also linking the channel for the filmmakers so that you can check behind the scenes. You can see some interviews that are being made with the director, the producer, and some actors. And you can also subscribe there to see their future updates. I'm including a link to a Wikipedia article about the current state of LGBT rights in Nigeria. And I'm also putting a link to a BBC article about the film. So first of all, what is the state of LGBT rights in Nigeria? Right now, the legality of the situation depends heavily on where you live in the country. If you live in the northern states, chances are that you're more religious, perhaps even Muslim, and a lot of the Muslims that live in the northern states are actually subject to Sharia law. In the more southern states, then it's generally the secular Nigerian law that determines someone's sentence. Either way, under Sharia law or secular Nigerian law, being gay is illegal. The punishment is what varies. Under Sharia law, if you are caught committing homosexual acts, the punishment is to be stoned to death. Under secular Nigerian law, the punishment for being LGBT is up to 14 years in prison. So either way, it's serious, serious stuff. And forget about any kind of LGBT rights. There are none. You can't get married, you can't adopt children, you can't have in vitro fertilization, you can't have a surrogate. So it's really just not a place that's friendly for anyone LGBT. So of course, what do you think is going to happen as a result of this, right? Is that people are going to hide. Because no matter whether we like it or not, LGBT people are everywhere. We're everywhere. And so you can't just eradicate us by making it illegal. The only thing that you're going to achieve is to send people underground and have them love each other in secret. So what is the story? The story is about two women who fall in love over the course of 3 days. The way it's described in the promotional materials is that they then have their love tested by the realities of being in a same-sex relationship in a country like Nigeria. Addie, the producer, said the aim of the film was to show an accurate picture of lesbian and bisexual women in a Nigerian movie. And it's not that right now we never see lesbian women in Nigerian movies. It's just that when you do, it's really not an accurate depiction. So what you would see is you would see a woman who is portrayed as being possessed or maybe under the influences of some horrible people or bad friends, or maybe even forced into homosexuality. And so it's always with this theme of needing to save these individuals. What she says is, you rarely see stories about LGBT people, especially about queer women, that speak to the realities of our lives. Ife was made to bridge the gap and to get the conversation going in Nigeria. I'd also like to add that she is an incredibly brave woman and an amazing activist, and you can follow her online as well. So you might be thinking to yourself, how are they able to make a lesbian movie in a country where being lesbian is illegal? And the answer is they can't. In Nigeria, as in many other countries, they have a censorship board that reviews everything that is being made. This is called the Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, or NFVCB for short. The head of NFVCB said that there is no space for Ife or other homosexual movies in Nigeria, and he cited the law. Mr. Thomas said there's a standing law that prohibits homosexuality either in practice or in a movie or in a theater or on stage. If it's content from Nigeria, it has to be censored. He also said if it did not pass through the NFVCB and it is released, the filmmakers will be prosecuted according to the law. As long as it's Nigerian content, we will pull it down because we have collaborations with Google, YouTube, and other key players. So basically what he's saying here is if they find a way that people will be able to watch this movie, then these women could be prosecuted, they could be sent to jail and charged with crimes. So I think it's really incredible the bravery of these women to make this movie anyway. In spite of the official opposition, the filmmakers are planning several ways that they want to try and get the movie out. One of them is just to release the movie online unexpectedly and hope as many people as possible can see it before it's taken down. Another way is that they want to have a private screening in Lagos, which is the financial center of Nigeria. And finally, they were also planning to have a screening in Canada in October, which I really want to find out more information about, because if that's happening, and if it's happening anywhere close to me, then I would love to go and be a part of it. In spite of all these laws, I do want to mention that public sentiment is slowly changing over time. In a survey in 2017, 83% of people said that they would not accept an LGBT family member. In 2019, however, that number dropped to 60%. Showing a trend in the right direction of acceptance over time. And this is a pretty significant change for a pretty short period of time. And I think that we can surmise that a lot of the change in public opinion is coming from women like this that are telling their stories. This is not the first time, unfortunately, that we've seen these types of movies being banned. The most memorable one for me was a movie called Fire that came out of India. And like Ife, it's a lesbian love story, so two women fall in love. When this movie was released, there were literally riots in the street, and they were burning down movie theaters, everything you can possibly imagine. Because of course, love between women is so dangerous. There was also a Kenyan movie that was made that I have not seen yet, but I'm dying to see, called Stories of Our Lives. And this is a collection of short stories that are all telling LGBT stories. This premiered at the Cannes Film Festival and even earned an Oscar nomination before it was subsequently banned. There's also a South African film whose English name was The Wound that told of a relationship between two men in South Africa. And this was banned shortly after it was released in 2018. So clearly we can see that we have a lot of work to do around the world still when it comes to acceptance of LGBT stories. But one of the things that I think is the most powerful to consider is that storytelling is the best way of enacting change in the world. When you think about it, it's really easy to take a bunch of people and put them in a box and label that box as other and say, I don't like that thing over there. But it's a lot harder to take that box, open it up, to look at the human being inside, to look in their eyes, to hear their story and realize that they are a human being with loves and desires and hardships, and they're really not that different from you. As soon as you can realize that they're not that different, then it becomes a lot harder to hate. Because how can you hate somebody that's basically like you? It would mean that you're hating yourself. So we cannot underestimate the power of storytelling. And we around the world need to do whatever we can to help these people tell their stories and make sure that the stories are heard. I, for one, can't wait to see this movie, and I will be following this movie as the journey continues. If there are future developments, I will make a follow-up video. And I hope that that follow-up video is something really positive, saying the movie came out, everybody loves it, everything is fine. And that it's not the movie came out and these women got sent to jail. So I have my hearts with these women. I think they are so incredible and so brave. And I really want this movie to be a success. So thank you guys so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you want to help to support me to continue to create content like this in the future, then you can go ahead and subscribe to me on Patreon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.